I don't mean to be rude, sir, but I think you've taken some sour medicine. That sort of thing just doesn't exist, sir. It's nonsense. Werewolves, they're just fairy tales, Thomas said, with a look of disbelief and concern for my mental well-being. Oh, I replied, so I can cast a magic spell on you, but werewolves can't be real. I'm sorry to pop your bubble, even if it's only temporarily, but werewolves are unfortunately very real. Believe me, your father wasn't the only one that werewolf tried to kill. I got all too an up-close and personal look at it. I could actually show you a magical image so that you could see it too. But trust me, you're better off not knowing what it actually looks like. Even if I can take the memory away, I'd still rather not give you the fright. Quite frankly, that's why I wanted to discuss this with you. Even if you won't be able to recall it, I feel responsible, because in truth, I believe it's most probable that werewolf was actually after me, and that your father was simply caught in the crossfire, a victim, collateral damage in the attempt to get rid of me. To be honest, I never even saw it coming. I didn't believe werewolves were real myself until I saw one. And even now, I'm still having trouble shaking the event. Currently, I'm still searching. I haven't exactly figured out who the werewolf is, or why they were after me. But I give you my word, Thomas, even if you won't remember it, I'm going to find out who that werewolf was, and make them pay the toll. The ferryman's toll, that is. And simply hope that their journey down the river Styx will be an unpleasant one. The primary problem being that werewolves themselves don't look anything like their human forms. This one had control of his actions, but that didn't mean he looked any more human. Unless you know anyone who's 8 foot tall, covered in fur with razor-sharp teeth. Thomas, still looking at me with that worried expression, replied, "So, the werewolf, the one that killed my father, you're gonna catch him, right? Use your magic. Make him pay for it." "Yes, Thomas," I replied, clasping my hands together and resting my chin on them. "If I have anything to say about it, he will be paying the price. My primary problem being, I don't have that many enemies, or at least ones that I know about. Ones that would have contacts within the magical world, or the werewolf community. I've only made one enemy thus far, at least that I know about. But as far as I am to understand, relationships between magic casters and werewolves aren't common. Even business arrangements between the two rarely tend to occur. So I simply don't understand where it could be coming from. What's the agenda? Why is it after me? Werewolves are people, after all. They work on the same motives, the same drives. They want the same things we do. They just have a rabid, bestial form that they can take on in the event that they need something violent done." "Sir," Thomas said, looking at me as if a thought occurred to him. "Well, sir, I don't want to interrupt your thought, but have you ever considered that it was simply my father? That maybe he did something? Maybe the money he owed? Maybe they were after him? Maybe you were just caught in the crossfire, sir," he said with a look of shame on his face, still believing that somehow this had to be his father's fault. For a moment, I thought of dismissing that idea altogether. This had to be about me or Alice. But then, I suddenly felt like a moron. Of course, this is my fault. I'm an idiot, I thought to myself. All of the things going on in my life, the information flowing in, this dealer nonsense. The ordeal with Alice and her suitors. I made the assumption that it had to be about us, that the primary agenda had to be either myself or Alice. I never even considered the possibility that that werewolf could have been there for anyone else. Werewolves are people. Other than the fact that they can turn into giant rabid animals, they still live human lives. They have families, work jobs, have friends and associates, an entire life that doesn't revolve around being a rabid animal. I'm an idiot. Even if I am important, it doesn't mean I'm the center of the universe. I reached over, picking up the large brown tome, the Book of the Dealer, and began to rapidly flip through the pages, looking for something to support the hypothesis. The idea that somebody else was the target, that it had nothing to do with me or Alice. As I flipped through the pages like a madman. "Sir, what are you doing?" Thomas announced, curious of my sudden flurry through this book. "I'm checking information, Thomas. There are many things in the world of magic that could actually work to my advantage in figuring this out. This book is one of them. If the information is here, then it might prove the point." And then I found it. The event listed clearly in the Book of the Dealer. But there were very important details, factors that had to be just right. Damn it, I don't have the information on hand. And there's not a book here in my house that holds it. I already used one spell to use a memory blocker. If I cast another one, it'll only make whatever training I have tomorrow more difficult. But I don't have a choice. I need to know the astrological signs, if they lined up that day. Raising my hand and focusing on Sylvia, I snapped my fingers, casting a long-range communication spell. "Sylvia, this is Reginald. I think I've got a lead on the werewolf. That's the only reason I'm casting this spell, despite your instructions. But there's a problem. The lead comes from the Book of the Dealer. It says here that the event can only occur during a specific alignment of 10 blue stars associated with the spirit of balance in the universe, forming a circle around the earth. I need your help. I don't have the information here. I need to know if the day of the werewolf attack, if those stars lined up." There was a short time frame in which there was no response. I simply stared into the dealer's book. Come on, I thought to myself. Respond. If anybody knows the answer, you know the answer. Come on, Sylvia. I need this. This has to go my way. And then I heard it. "Well, it appears you are making good use of that book," Sylvia's voice announced in my head. "I'm curious as to which of the occurrences it might be. But if you're asking if those 10 stars were in alignment that day, they were. Sorry for the delay, but I had to double check. I wouldn't want to give you faulty information. The 10 stars associated with the spirit of balance in the universe were in alignment the day of the attack. So, whatever part of the pattern you're looking at is most likely the answer to your problem. Your very furry problem. There's no need to waste another spell. I'll be over there tomorrow morning for your training. You can fill me in with the details then. This may be important, but it will not take precedence over your training. Do you understand that, Reginald?" Ugh, why am I bothering? I just told you not to reply. I do sometimes feel like a fool. Regardless, I hope this information was helpful, Reginald. But do remember to get your rest. You shall need it, Sylvia said, as her statement came to a close. And just like that, I figured it out. It's all here in the dealer's book. The name the event is listed as is the Hunter's Stray Shot. an attempt to kill someone else, and the dealer is caught in the crossfire.